Hello and welcome back. In this video, and you can see on the left there's only 4 slides, it's going to be relatively short, I'm going to quickly discuss how you can control access to cron. So we'll be able to determine who's actually allowed to use cron tables. Now, what I'm going to discuss here assumes that you're already somewhat familiar with how cron works and what it's supposed to do, and what these cron tables that we're controlling access to are. If you're not, I have a video all about that I would encourage you to watch. Feel free to do that and then come back. Now, the reason we're discussing this is just like sudo access, not everybody needs access to this elevated privilege. Well, in this case, not everybody needs access to be able to schedule tasks. Most of your users do not need to automate processes. Maybe some of them need to generate reports on a regular basis, but Carol from accounting doesn't need the ability to every day send out an email with pictures of cats in it. Or whatever else. So there's 2 files that we can generate that, if they are present, will limit who is able to access cron tables. And these are etccron.allow and etccron.deny. I'll explain what they both do in a second. The best practice here is to only have one or the other, generally cron.allow. Don't put both on your system, because if you have both, cron will actually ignore cron.deny and only pay attention to cron.allow. And just having both is going to confuse somebody. So what cron.allow does is hold the list of usernames of who is allowed to use cron. So if this file is present, the only people who will be able to successfully run cron tab are the people whose usernames are in this file. This way, you can limit it to only these people can schedule tasks. And that's probably what you want to do. Generally, there will be far fewer people who need to be able to schedule tasks than those who don't. However, in case you wanted to work the other way, you could instead set up etccron.deny, and if that file is there and cron.allow isn't, anybody who's listed in that file is not allowed to use cron. Everybody else is. So let's jump back to my system here, and I'm going to switch over to being another user. So I'm now normal user, and I'm going to set up a cron table entry. Just like we did before, cron tab -e, and I'm going to set something up every minute. Cat pictures. No, I'm not actually going to email myself a document dump of a bunch of cat pictures, but theoretically somebody could write up the command to do that. And let's see, the current time. I might have beat the minute, I might not have. Let's check my email. No mail yet. So we're stuck here waiting a minute for this to occur. I'm actually just going to pause the recording so we don't have to sit through a minute of silence. I'll be right back. And I'm back, and we're pretty close to the minute. You can see that I was using date several times just to see when we got close. And the minute rolled over, and if I check my mail, cat pictures every minute on the minute. Of course, we don't want this to happen. So, going back to my administrative user and admin, we can edit etc cron.allow. And I'm going to put in root, because root should always be allowed to do this, and my administrative user who should have access. And then I'm going to, as I mentioned in a previous video, as an administrator, you can look at other people's cron tables. So I'm going to sudo crontab-l for the user norm al user. Oh look, Norm is sending out cat pictures every minute on the minute. Let's remove Norm's cron table. Of course, within a few minutes, Norm is going to notice this. And I typed that in wrong. So Norm logs in, realizes, wait, my cat pictures aren't being sent. What's in my cron table? Oh, you're not allowed to use this program anymore. That's simple. So you can just set up that file, etc cron.allow. Anybody who is listed in there is allowed to use cron. Anybody who's not listed in there is not allowed to use cron. So, what we've very quickly covered is how we can use a couple of files to control who's allowed to have access to cron tables. So you can limit it to your responsible users who actually need the ability to automate things, and you can keep those regular emails of cat pictures out of your system. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.